Everybody welcome. First of all, let me put on my glasses because, second of all, I am doing so well. I'm not going to be in rehab much longer, but I can walk and not very far. Okay, I want to read this first. The painting today is for Goldman Sachs when I was commissioned to do a series of their building at 85 Broad Street, going up. And what I have on the board, what we put on the board, approximately 40 years later, as I write this for my Facebook program, I can easily reimagine my feelings as I began this painting. I knew what was waiting for me. I was going to learn about a New York City building going up. I was so excited, and I did not know what I discovered now, 40 years later, that it was my destiny to do the history of New York. We do things because we think we decide, but actually we are led to it. Anything big in our lives has patterns happening way before. Angel, you don't know that part because you're new to us and wonderful to be here. But they have lived with me during all these years, not knowing why I was doing what I was doing, but knowing no matter how difficult, I couldn't wait. Okay? So what I said was here, I needed to record history. And it all began in Vienna, Austria in 1938, when I realized that the world I knew was gone forever. What began as a wish to explain what I was in the world that no longer recognized me turned into a need to ask the world to recognize how wonderful it was and not to let the world vanish. As you read and visit the rest of my work, I hope you will join with me in letting this world continue. What I want to talk about first is this unknown lead that pushes it into directions that we think we're discovering, but perhaps we are destined to have. Through Facebook, I discovered the book Cosmic Queries, and also I discovered a relative I didn't know I had through Facebook. So no matter what happens with the new inventions that we do, such as Facebook, what people do with it is not our choice. But what we do with it is our choice. If we destroy people, it's our choice. It's not the machines that do it. We're the ones who build the bombs. Let me go back to something else. When I read that book, Cosmic Queries, I realized that whatever we do comes with a pattern. And billions of years ago, certain gases accumulated in areas which were empty. And then once the earth heated up and the first atom appeared, something was able to harden and appear. And you and I came from that atom. And people who always watch Facebook, my dear friends, Tammy and Tracy, came to me and explained their view of the cosmos is that when we are destined to meet, thoughts come to us, experiences happen that are meant for us to do. I'll give you a very slight example. A woman, when I was teaching art in my basement, a woman brought a little boy to me and she said, "Could you get him to draw again? He always drew. He couldn't stop drawing." And then in kindergarten or first grade, his teacher had the children do pictures for Mother's Day, and he drew a monster. And she said, "No, you don't do monsters for a mother on Mother's Day." And he began to cry and he said, "But my mother loves my monsters." She said, "No, do a flower or something." And he stopped drawing. And he cannot draw anymore. What can you do? So I sat little Mark down with a mirror and I said, "Draw something in your face, an eye or a nose, but copy a part of your face and then let it become a monster." And he knew, he understood, but he was also genius. He began to draw things in perspective and so on that were so good, and I had no idea that the genius in him had been stopped when he couldn't draw what he needed to draw. Years later, when I met his mother, she told me that he's a syndicated cartoonist, syndicated throughout the world. What is it that we carry within us that we're not allowed to do? Find out and do it. Do it so that it does not cause harm to anybody. But do it. There is a destiny that pushed you into it. Right? Let me go further. Let me talk about Richie, my brother. I had begun to speak about him last week, and I wanted to show you photographs, but I can't because I'm here, and when I can walk better and go home again, I will bring the photographs and do a session, because Richie was my role model. I wanted so much to be like him, but I was very shy and never looked at people really, because I called it being shy, but it wasn't. It was not being able to give. Richie gave. If he had 2 items, he gave them both away. He didn't keep one. And I had a wonderful compliment the other day. A friend of mine, Janine, said, "But you're getting there in giving things." Because the thing I need more than anything else, and I guard it jealously, is time. And I'm beginning to give time. It started when I started doing volunteer work. And when I began to work as a volunteer in the prison, I had developed a terrible illness called lupus, and nobody knew what it was. And then one day one of our volunteers came to my house and he said, "How are you?" And I said, "Not good at all. The injury I had in my knee has now gone through my whole body." And he said, "Have you seen a rheumatologist?" And I said, "A few, but none of them know what's wrong with me." So he said, "My daughter is married to a rheumatologist who heals diseases which are unknown. Would you like to see him?" And I said, "Yes." So he said, "When do you want to see him?" And I said, "That's not up to me. When will he see me?" And he said, "Pick the time, he'll be there." And it was in the Catholic hospital in Queens. And I went there, And the first thing he said to me was, when you were a child, did you have nosebleed? And I said, of course, all children have nosebleed. And he said, no, they don't. And then he said, why do you have those red things on your cheek? They make you look good, but what are they? And I said, I don't know. And he said, that's another sign of lupus. And he cured me. If I would not have given time to be a volunteer, I would not have been cured. So giving time is what I'm learning.
Yes.
Are there any comments?
Yes, many comments. Many comments.
I love that.
So, Martha asked, what happened to my Hedy? So some people might not know, and you might want to tell them.
Yes.
Carol Hodkin is watching. Hernan Poza is watching. Martha Bilski said, hi, Hedy, I can hear you. And Joe told us the sound is good. Hi, Martha. Hi, Joe. And Marcia is watching. And Joe said that it's good, lined up well. And lots of people said that. And we got a lot of that positive comment. And Eileen said, hi, I'm here. And she gave us some really good advice. Rona Rosenberg Freiser is watching. Mark Schumann is watching. Eileen Cutler told me to lower the camera and frame her better, which I think she told me I did. Janine Schultz is watching, and Janine says, hi, Hedy, and everybody. And Eileen said, great to see you, Hedy. Up right now, not lying down. Love you so. And Martha Bilski said, so wise. And Ken Almquist said, hi, Hedy. And Julie said, Hedy, I've always thought of you as very giving of your time, talent, wisdom, and love. And Marcia said, you are my idol.
I feel like crying, but thank you.
And do you want to?
I want somebody to begin the idea of writing so that I can read it about something in your life where somebody gave to you or where you gave to somebody what you really needed for yourself and found out that in giving it, you got back more. I so badly want this to be a platform to prove that the world is wonderful, because I don't want us to let go of the world.
Do you want to read the piece that you wrote about you and art?
Yes.
Okay, here.
Kenny's doing the program because Jessie can't. Okay. Art is my reason for speaking to the world. I don't know how to say it, but you know, I wrote a long time ago, I told you about Vava Sadikov, the woman who taught me so much, when she said, that's a picture you made of a tree. Now go back and do the tree. What she did, she was in concentration camp with her daughter during the Hitler time. She said to the guard, if you give me pencils, colored pencils, and paper, I will make beautiful pictures for you of angels and Christmas trees. And she did. And she and her daughter were needed. And therefore, they survived. Somebody once asked my husband, Eric, a concentration camp survivor, how can you do so many things and do them so well? And Eric said, because I know if they don't need me, they'll kill me. So I'm going to be useful. I am being useful through my art. Let me point to this painting. Give a minute while Kenny adjusts it. This is going to be the painting of people who have kindness. In this rehab center, I'm going to put all the employees in, because this is the first time in my life that I had to work from photographs. And the only way I'm able to do it, I said to everybody, give me a picture of how you love to see yourself. And that is why on a picture of a Long Beach boardwalk, you see people in elegant tuxedos, as in Joey Lair. You see a general and her husband. You see the city manager of Long Beach. I think this is one of my favorite photos I've seen, because it's my city manager. And she's dressed like a person of this part of the world and this time. And the reason you see it now is my daughter said, Mom, you're in a big room. Why don't we bring the painting? Because the painting is in her house, because it's the only place big enough for this canvas, in her basement, and which is where I was painting until I fell and came here. And my son Ken and my son-in-law Greg and Joni and a very dear friend Sammy picked it up and brought it here. And I get to wake up in the morning and see all of you. And the young man who just came in, whom you met before, is going to be in the painting. His name is Angel. Angel, do you want to walk over if Kenny can show you?
Sure.
You have to climb over the bed. Okay. He has to give me an excellent photo of how he sees himself. And then I need a written statement of how you see your place in the world. We spoke a lot today, and I like what you said about helping people. Okay, you didn't bargain for this, did you? If you weren't wearing clothes that I love, I might not have asked you.
It's beautiful. The painting is
Thank you.
beautiful.
Why do I do this work? Because through art, I make people look. And eventually, when this painting is done, I will speak about each person. Nowadays, the world has become more dangerous. When I began, I took everybody's name, phone number, put it on lists. I don't do that anymore. The world has become over, what would a word be for machines?
Automated? Over automated?
Yeah, yes, over automated, and nothing is safe. If I give my phone number, 10,000 robot calls have it anyway, so I've stopped answering phones. Our culture is changing because we're all afraid. How much time do I have left?
What time is it? 10. 7 minutes.
I'm rich. Okay. Are there any comments of anybody wanting to tell a story?
And tell what the story would be again.
The story should be of when you have done something for someone, or someone has done something for you that changed your life because of the kindness.
Beautiful. And some comments are Angel. Eileen Cutler said, "Hi, Angel. He's got a beautiful smile."
Ah, thank you.
He says thank you. And Martha Bilski says, "Handsome young man." And Marcia says, great meeting you today, Angel. You are a gentle soul.
Oh, I love
and Angel
it.
says, thank you.
And Angel has been a part of this production. I want to say one more thing to everybody. Like Richie, become givers. Takers lose. The only people who are happy in the world, I've noticed, are the ones who give. If you take, the unhappy people are the takers. Give yourself joy. Give it. Only by giving do you get. It's a funny thing, but the way the world goes, it's a definite thing in the cosmos. If you don't plant, you don't reap. If you don't reap, you can't eat. You're not generous when you give. You're protecting yourself. Nobody helps the people they're afraid of. We run from them. Dr. D'Angelo, who saved me from lupus. My brother Richie, in a sense, who saved me from Hitler. Only the givers get back.
We do have one story from Martha.
I love it.
Martha says, I was given a scholarship to boarding school. I was given a scholarship to boarding school. I have since become a sanctuary for some young people. And then Martha says after that scholarship, she spells it again, and then she says, but I can't type though. And Julie Williams, so that was Martha's, and then Julie Williams says, this advice reminds me of my favorite children's book, The Giving Tree.
Oh, thank you. Now,
And anyone else who has stories, please feel free to share.
yes. Oh my goodness. Because what I would like, with this painting, I would like to have, first of all, I need somebody who's going, because Jessie isn't able to help me anymore. So I would like somebody, perhaps someday he will be able to again. But right now I had counted on him always for my website. And I really thought we could do a website of all the things people tell us. So that remains to be seen. But think of it. Maybe I'll do it by myself.
Maybe we'll help you. And Marcia Goldstein-Graber says, Hedy, you give me joy whenever we are together.
Marcia, when you came today, I put that pumpkin on my table where orange, like your jacket, it'll bring me life and happiness. Thank you. I love all of you. Let me say goodbye. Good night. And Joni, I miss you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Oh wait, Carol Hodkin says, Hedy, I stopped in your store more than 20 years ago. I offered to help you and Eric with the computer.
Yes, yes.
In return, I was able to meet you and Eric and your family. You are among my most treasured and loved friends. There are too many happy memories. Your advice to me is priceless. And Martha Bilski says good night, and Julie Williams says love you all.
Oh, oh, thank you. What a wonderful night. Thank you so much. I love you all.